Remembering Abbie B., a play in 2 acts by Dustin Hageland.
Lights up on what appears to be a quaint living room. 2 armchairs sit to one side of the room facing a TV. A very basic kitchen is directly next to the chairs. There are 2 doors, one to a bedroom that is unseen and one to an outer hall. Many pictures adorn the back wall between the bedroom and the chairs, all in Mitch Mapp's frames. One, a painting, faded by time, of a young woman, stands out amongst the rest. Ralph, a man in his 80s, enters from the bedroom, slowly, having just woken up. He sighs, checks his watch, and begins to cross the kitchen. On his way across, he stops at the pictures, taking a moment to kiss his fingers, place them against the painting of the woman, and then straighten the already perfect straight frame. He pauses, taking his time, then continues to cross to the kitchen. He reaches into one of the cabinets and pulls out a pill case. He opens one of the clasps and pours out a small handful of pills. He takes pills and lays them out, slowly and methodically, in a line on the countertop. He then reaches into the cabinet again and produces a glass before moving to the sink and filling it, then setting it next to the line of pills. Ralph takes a deep breath, then begins to pop the pills in his mouth one by one, before washing them all down with a glass of water. He then slowly makes his way to one of the chairs, the same chair he always sits in, settles in, and turns on the TV. After a beat of TV, the lights shift, indicating a memory. Young Ralph and Betty enter, moving 2 chairs to be parallel to one another, establishing a makeshift car. Young Ralph sits in the driver's seat, quiet and anxious, with a slightly more confident Betty beside him. There is an awkward beat. Maybe the radio plays, filling the silence. It's 1941.
So, the stars are real pretty, aren't they?
Yes, very.
They're very clear tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice of your father to lend us his car.
It was nice of you to ask me out on a date.
Mm-hmm. Did I, though?
Did you what?
Did I ask you out on a date?
Sure you did. We're here, aren't we?
Yes, but somehow I don't remember asking you.
Well, you did. You walked right up to me and said, "Betty, I'd like to go on a date with you." And here we are.
Come on now.
What?
I'm certain that's not how it happened.
Are you calling me a liar, Ralph Hummel?
No, I...
Relax. I'm just teasing.
Right.
How do you know that's not how it happened?
Because I know myself.
And what do you know about yourself?
I know that if I marched up to you with the intention of asking you on a date, well, I'd more than likely throw up than actually utter the words.
Is that so?
I'm afraid so. The smooth talker of the family?
And who would that be then?
That would be my brother, Les.
Is that so?
Unfortunately.
Should get him to ask me out then.
Oh. Yeah, well, I could,
I'm teasing. Ralph, it's okay.
Right. Sorry.
You know,
Pardon?
that's not how it happened. You didn't march up to me.
Then what happened?
I had to march up to you.
That sounds more accurate.
Do you really not remember?
I think I must have blacked out. Did you ask right away, or
No, you took some convincing.
convincing?
I had to plant the idea in your head, let it grow for a minute or two or 12 before you managed to actually suggest a date.
Betty Jilson, you can be downright mischievous. Do you know that?
It takes some work to get the best blusher in school to ask you out.
Who calls me that?
Oh, lots of people.
Oh.
I think it's cute.
What?
I think it's cute when you blush. You look good in red.
Oh. Thank you.
We should really get our story straight.
What story?
The story of how you asked me on our first date. I have a feeling it'll be a story we'll tell a lot.
You do?
Of course I do.
But you just told me what happened. You got me to ask you out, we picked up your dad's car, and now we're here.
That's the beautiful part of story, though. It can be whatever you want it to be.
I don't want to change it. I don't want to change anything about tonight.
I agree, though I'm excited to see the rest of it.
The rest?
Assuming it doesn't end tonight, of course.
So you're excited to see the end?
Oh, no. Who cares about the end? It's the middle parts that make a good story.
Do you think we'll have a good story?
It's too soon to tell. I think we're off to a good start, though.
I agree.
But what if we change just one thing?
What's that?
What if, when we tell the story, at the end of the date, you kissed me?
I kissed you?
Yeah.
Okay. When we tell the story, we can say I kissed you at the end of the night.
Right. In the car.
In the car.
At the end of the date.
Right. It would just be a little lie.
Okay, just a slight embellishment. I have another idea.
Yeah?
What if we didn't have to lie?
So you don't want to say we kissed?
No, I do.
I don't follow.
What if it actually happened, so we didn't have to lie?
Oh.
Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, I think so. Would that be okay with you?
Very much so.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Young Ralph takes a deep breath, cracking a little bit of a smile, and leans in to kiss Betty. Just before their lips meet, there is a knock at the door, and Ralph snaps out of the memory.
Mr. Hummel, we have a visitor for you.
Come in.
Young Ralph and Betty exit. The door opens and Holly enters with Lee following her in.
Good morning, Mr. Hummel. Your son is here to see you.
Which one, Lee or Les?
It's me, Dad.
Your ID said Ralph.
Ralph? That's my name. I'm Ralph. Do I look vain enough to name my own son after myself?
Oh, God.
He's kidding. It's my middle name, Ralph Lee Hummel.
I've never seen this man in my life.
I am...
He's kidding, Dad. You're kidding.
All right, now that I've gotten a better look at him, that's Lee.
I'm really sorry about him.
Oh, man, you really got me, Mr. Hummel.
Are you new?
Dad,
I don't mean it like that. I just mean I don't recognize her.
It's all right. I am new, just hired and trained.
Good, good. Well, welcome, Miss
You can call me Holly.
Holly. I'm Ralph, and this is my son, Lee, or Ralph. I suppose you can pick one.
It's a pleasure to meet you both, but I've got to get back to work. Have a good visit, and I'll see you tonight, Mr. Hummel.
Glad to meet you. I'm sorry to scare you.
It's okay. Means I can skip coffee this morning. Bye.
Thank you.
I like her.
You like everyone.
That doesn't make me wrong.
They hug, and then Ralph sits back down. Lee gets comfortable as well.
Have you been to see your sisters yet?
I had breakfast with them this morning. They seem to be doing well.
As far as I can tell.
And how are you doing?
I take it they told you.
You want a new doctor?
Yes.
You like your doctor.
I did, until I realized he wasn't any good.
That's what you said about the last one.
Again, that doesn't make me wrong.
You can't just keep cycling through doctors, Dad.
What good is a doctor if he won't help me?
He's a doctor, Dad. He knows what he's talking about. You, on the other
I know
hand,
my body. My memory is fading.
that happens.
Not like this.
Dad,
The other morning, I woke up, I came out here, and I looked at that painting. And there was a moment, a singular moment, that I wondered to myself, who is that? I'm forgetting her, Lee. I'm forgetting everything.
Dad, the doctor agreed. You don't have Alzheimer's. It's senility.
Don't give me that "you're getting old" crap.
You're not getting old, Dad. You are old.
Exactly. I've been getting old for years, and this has never happened before. I know what getting old is, but this isn't it. This is something else.
The doctor said,
Doctors can be wrong. I just want help. There's no shame in that.
no, there's not. And we're trying to help you.
It doesn't feel like it.
We're on your side.
If you were on my side, you'd believe me.
I believe you, but I also believe your doctor with years of medical training.
I just want to record her, Lee, the version of her that I remember. I want to make sure that it all doesn't just disappear.
It's not, Dad.
How are the grandkids?
Are we just going to drop this?
Are you going to listen to me?
They're all great. Michelle's eldest graduates this year.
God, time flies.
It really does. When's the last time you got out of here?
It's been a couple days.
Want to go get lunch?
Chinese?
Of course.
Ralph and Lee prepare to leave as the lights fade. End scene 1. Scene 2. Ralph is once again in his chair. The lights shift to indicate a memory. Young Ralph and Betty enter and arrange themselves in front of the table. Young Ralph places several bunches of bananas and gallons of milk on the table. He is scarfing down bananas with glass after glass of milk while Betty watches.
This is ridiculous.
What?
Never going to work.
The recruiter said
He's probably just playing a prank on you.
he wouldn't do that.
You're going to be sick.
I'm fine.
If you make yourself sick, you're going to lose weight.
I'm not going to be sick.
You're going to be sick.
I can handle this.
You can barely handle a normal meal. What makes you think
I can handle this.
you're really determined to make this work, aren't you?
They need me.
Needs you.
The troops, the country, Les.
Well, I'm sorry, but I hope this doesn't work.
So you think it might?
I didn't say that. I said I don't want it to.
I know, but this is something that I have to do. Or try anyway.
I know.
So I'm going to eat my milk and bananas, gain the last 5 pounds, and enlist in the Navy. Because I have to.
So if it does work,
You said it wouldn't.
if it does, what happens?
What do you mean?
I mean, if you go in for your weigh-in tomorrow and you're over 100 pounds, what's next?
Slight sound of static begins to rise, noticeable only to Ralph, who is visibly disturbed.
The recruiter lets me enlist, and I get on a train to Idaho for training.
Right after?
Within the hour. Won't even have time to make the trip back to the house.
Oh,
Yep. Look, who knows how long I'll be gone.
if you get in.
Right. Look, we don't know when the war's going to end and when I'll be back.
If you ask me, you'll be back tomorrow afternoon.
Just let me get through this. I understand if you don't want to wait for me to get back and you need to find another guy to, like, take you to movies and hold your hand and all that.
Ralph, you really can be an idiot, you know that.
Of course I know that.
I'm not leaving you. I can wait for the war to end.
Really?
Really, really.
Static is becoming harder and harder for Ralph to ignore.
Well, I'll write you
When?
when I can.
Which will be?
Well, I don't know yet.
Well, I'll be writing you every day.
Every day?
Every day.
You can't possibly find something to write about every day.
I can and I will. So you better find yourself a minute or two to write me a letter.
Of course I will. I'll write you whenever I can.
You promise?
I promise.
Good. Now eat your bananas and milk so you can impress the recruiter tomorrow.
I thought you didn't think it would work.
Well, now it has to, so you can go away and write me romantic letters. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
What is it?
It's just... I don't know. I thought you'd cry.
Betty and young Ralph freeze as the static reaches a maximum and then stops. Ralph stands up, concerned, walking between the two figments of his memory. As he tries to restart the memory, the static returns.
Oh, nothing.
What is it?
It's just... I don't know. I thought you'd cry.
The memory stops again. Ralph panics for just a moment, then takes a deep breath, composes himself, starts the memory again. With much effort, the static still pervades the scene, but quieter.
It's just... I don't know. I thought you'd cry.
You wanted me to cry?
No, not like that. I just thought you would.
Well, I'm sure I will when you leave.
If I leave.
You'll leave. They'd be stupid not to take you.
I hope so.
You're not scared?
I'm a little scared.
Oh, well, good. You should be at least a little scared.
Are you scared?
Eat your bananas now. You've got a big day tomorrow. There is a knock at the door and the memory ends. Young Ralph and Betty exit.
Mr. Hummel!
Come in.
Holly enters with a tray of food.
Hi, Mr. Hummel. I didn't see you at dinner tonight.
Is it that time already?
Well, it was an hour ago. Have you eaten?
Not since lunch.
I didn't think so. I brought you something.
Holly lays down the tray of food in front of Ralph. He isn't particularly interested.
Where is your son? I figured he'd be spending time here.
We had a bit of an argument. He'll be back tomorrow, I suppose.
What happened? Sorry not to pry.
No, that's all right. He refused to help me get a new doctor.
What's wrong with your doctor?
He's wrong.
What about?
He won't treat my Alzheimer's
Why not?
because he doesn't think I have Alzheimer's.
Oh,
And my kids don't believe me. I've been struggling to remember everything, my childhood, my wife. It feels like it's being pulled away and no one believes me.
I'm sorry. I know it doesn't mean much, but I believe you.
No, that means a lot. Thank you.
I'm not exactly a doctor, so I can't help a lot, but if there's anything I can do to help, I'm here, Mr. Hummel.
You could start by calling me Ralph. Would make me feel less like an old man.
Ralph. Got it. Is that her?
That's
Holly
her.
walks to the painting of Betty.
She's beautiful.
She was, yes. At least people can remember that about her.
Maybe there's another way to remember her.
How do you mean?
Well, what if you wrote it all down? Everything. All the memories.
I wish I could. I've always wanted to.
But
But my hands aren't as steady as they once were. I can't exactly write for long periods of time, or use a typewriter for that matter.
Well, we'll figure something out.
We?
Of course I'm going to help you.
Why?
Because you need help?
There are plenty of people in here that need help.
Because I want to help you.
Why me?
Here, eat.
All right.
Promise me you'll try to get to dinner now and again, won't you?
I can try.
That's all I ask. You enjoy your dinner and get some sleep. We'll try to figure out something out tomorrow.
Thank you, Holly.
It's the least I can do. Good night, Ralph.
Holly exits. End scene 2. Scene 3. Lights shift to indicate a memory. Young Ralph enters dressed in his naval uniform.
Dear Betty, did you know that they expect me to swim? There are boats for these things, aren't there? I don't understand the need, but they were insistent. In other news, I almost drowned today. 4 times, really. There's something special about being thrown into a pool, pulled out, and then yelled at only to be thrown back in. It seems more effective as torture than as training. People are starting to think I'm more rock than man at the rate at which I sink. I eventually got from one end of the pool to the other with minimal water in my lungs. Then 9 more times after that before they were able to mark on that sheet, in the eyes of my officer, I could swim. I still disagree, but we'll just hope that the boat stays above the water and it doesn't come up again. I miss you. I know I say that in every letter, but it's always true. I love you, and I can't wait until this war's over and we can be together again. Sincerely, Ralph.
End scene 3. Scene 4. Ralph sits in his chair while Lee sits nearby. They each have somewhat small servings of ice cream that they are eating from.
This is the catch-22 of growing old, you know?
What's that?
As soon as you're old enough to eat as much ice cream as you want, you can afford it, you don't care about your figure anymore, but your body can't handle it. You have to check your cholesterol or sugar or whatever else.
That's what grandkids are for. Give them all the sugar you can't have.
You don't have to tell me. Nothing like buying affection with candy.
Not that you ever had to.
No, but it sure is fun to get them loaded up on sugar and then
Give them
give them
back.
back to the parents.
Yeah. Growing old isn't all that bad.
It has its ups and downs.
Okay, Dad. I have to ask you something.
Anything.
There's a rumor
You know what happens when you listen to those.
that has existed my entire life.
Oh, God.
My name.
Anything but that.
Was it a mistake?
What do you take me for?
I heard. I heard that after I was born, just born, that Mom called out for you. She called for you, and that is why they wrote it down. That's how I got my name.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Come on.
It's true. She would never tell me.
Really?
Of course. She doubled down. I asked her about this. I did. But if she admitted that the name was a mistake, oh man, she'd never hear the end of it from me. From you, forget it.
So it is true.
It just might be, Junior. What are you going to do? Change your name?
It's a little late for that.
Why? You already have 2 names. Why not throw in a third?
You know, I think I'll just settle to be a junior.
I'm sorry. I really am.
No, you're not.
I am. I didn't want you to be a junior. I know what it is to be Ralph Lee Hummel.
Oh, you didn't have it so bad.
I had a lot of help.
I miss her too, Dad.
She loved you kids more than anything. Don't you ever forget that. Ever. Please. You, all of you, were our greatest accomplishments. After my memory is gone,
Your memory won't.
after it's gone, please, if you remember anything, remember that.
We know, Dad. And we'll all remember. You don't have to worry about that.
End scene 4. Scene 5. Ralph sits in his chair, looking over old letters. A box of paperwork sits next to his chair. Holly enters, a wrapped box behind her back.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I got you something.
It's not my birthday.
Early or late. Take your pick.
You give presents to all the residents.
Hurry up and open it.
Ralph tears into the wrapping paper, revealing an outdated, clunky laptop.
A laptop?
But you said your hand's going to handle handwriting, and this should be easier on them than a typewriter. You can write everything down like you wanted to.
Where did you get this?
I had it. It hardly works anymore, but the battery is dead, so you'll have to keep it plugged in, but it should run Word just fine. I'll teach you how to use it.
You're sure?
Of course. I'm not using it.
This is so kind of you.
It's really nothing. I hope it helps.
I'm really excited.
What's all this?
Oh, those are the letters that Betty and I wrote each other during the war.
All of them?
Well, I lost a couple in travel, but other than that, yeah, all of them.
That's amazing.
When I left, she said she was going to write me every day. How do you turn this thing on?
That button there, but like I said, you'll have to keep it plugged in.
Ralph gets up.
No, let me.
Let an old man stretch his legs a little.
Ralph puts the laptop on the chair and takes the charger to the outlet. He finds the outlet and sits back in his chair, plugging in the laptop. He hits the power button.
It's old. It's going to take a minute.
Oh, trust me, I get that.
Did she
Did she what?
write you every day?
Yep, every single day.
She sounds lovely.
I'm a very lucky man, mental deficiencies aside.
The computer makes a noise to indicate that it is booted.
Is it done?
It's on, yeah.
Great. Now what?
Hold on.
Holly grabs the laptop and starts setting it up for Ralph. Grabs the letter. Betty enters. Lights shift to indicate a memory.
Dear Ralph, if you had asked, I think I could have told you that there would have been some swimming involved. It's not all just milk and bananas. Though, I share your sentiment about the boat staying afloat. Graduation is just a few days away now. I just got the cap and gown. Unlike some people I know, I'm determined to finish my last bit of schooling so that I may go through life a fully educated individual, and I won't let any kind of Navy get in the way of that. It's exciting stuff, but I wish that you could be there so that we could start the rest of our lives together right then and there. Though I guess you'll be too busy practicing your swimming. Either way, I miss you, and I love you more than ever. By the way, Mother agreed, and she'll be coming with me to Boston. We'll see you June 1st. Don't drown before then. Much love, Betty.
Betty exits.
Okay, here we go. I have Word up. Just type whatever you want here, and when you're done, see that button? Make sure you press that. That saves it so you don't lose everything.
Which one?
That one. Go ahead and try it.
Like that?
Yeah, now you have to name it.
Name it.
Yeah, you need a name for the file.
Ralph takes a beat, then types out the file name, slowly pecking at the keys.
For Abbie B.
That was her real name, Abbie. She hated it. I would only call it to tease her.
Why use it now?
I always liked it, and she's not here to stop me.
I think it's a great title.
Holly checks her watch.
Oh dear, I've really got to get back to work. I'll see you at dinner tonight, right?
I'll try.
I'm not convinced, but either way, I'll see you later.
Holly, genuinely, thank you.
It's the least I can do. Happy writing.
Holly takes the tray and leaves. Ralph starts pecking at the keyboard. End scene 5. Scene 6. Ralph is sitting in his chair, plucking away slowly at the dilapidated laptop. The lights shift to indicate a memory. Betty is on stage. Young Ralph enters. Young Ralph is dressed in his Navy uniform.
There you are. I've been looking for you.
What's the matter? You look flustered.
Well, I was just speaking with the chaplain, and it turns out we have a bit of a problem. So apparently, the laws in Massachusetts are a little different. They're a bit different. Worse. Well, who am I to say they're worse? I mean, they're worse for this situation. For us, they're worse, for sure, no doubt. But to doubt, that would be silly. It's just that...
Ralph, spit it out!
I want to, but I'm afraid you're going to be upset.
With you?
With me? No, I haven't done anything wrong. It's not me that you'd be upset with.
Then why are you so afraid?
Because I love you, and I don't want to hurt you, even if it's not my fault.
Sheltering me isn't going to do me any good either.
The static begins, rising rapidly this time.
Right. Well, it's just that we've hit a bit of a hiccup.
What do you mean by a hiccup?
The static reaches a fever pitch and is then interrupted by a knock and then by the door opening. Holly is letting Lee in.
Hi, Ralph. Lee is here.
Hello, Holly. Lee.
How's the laptop working?
It's great so far, though I'm not very good.
It takes practice. You'll get the hang of it. Anyway, I'll leave you two to it.
Thank you.
I'll see you later for dinner, Ralph.
Wouldn't miss it.
Yes, you would.
Holly exits.
She gave you a laptop.
An old one, yeah.
Is that allowed?
Why wouldn't it be?
I guess. How are you?
I'm fine, all things considered. How are you?
I'm good. I head home today.
Is that so?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I could only come down for a couple days this time. I need to be back for work.
I feel like I've hardly seen you.
Well, whose fault is that?
I'd rather not argue that.
I'll be back to visit for longer soon. A full week next time.
I look forward to that.
Dad, I talked to Pat and Sue, and we all want to help you.
Are you getting me a new doctor?
Sort of. We're looking into getting you a psychiatrist.
A shrink?
Yes.
What for? It's my memory that's going.
Your memories of Mom.
Yes, all of it.
We know her death has been hard on you. It's been hard on all of us.
Of course it has.
And don't you think that might be what's causing your problems?
You think I'm depressed.
We think you might be.
My wife died. Of course I'm depressed. That isn't what's making my memory go. I have a disease.
We did a bit of research, and apparently this can happen.
Oh, you did an internet search and suddenly you know how to fix me, do you?
That's not what I said.
So, I'm not allowed to doubt my doctor, but you can do 10 minutes of research and diagnose me. That doesn't seem wrong to you?
We're just trying to help you, Dad.
Then help me. I've told you how to help me, now do it. All I need is a second opinion. That's all I'm asking for is some help. It's not depression. It's not senility. It's a disease in my brain that is eroding my memory. That isn't that hard to understand.
Dad, I...
Are you going to get me a new doctor? Then I don't have anything to say to you.
Lee stands up and goes to the door.
I'll be back in a few weeks. We can talk then.
Okay.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, son.
Lee exits. Ralph returns to working on his laptop. Young Ralph and Betty return to the memory. The static quickly returns, even louder than before.
Right. Well, it's just that we've hit a bit of a hiccup.
What do you mean by a hiccup?
Okay, so Massachusetts state law says that for us to be married, we need parental consent. And your mom is here, so that's good. Go, but if we want to get married here and now, we'll have to wait a few days for a telegram from my mother.
Is that all? You really had me worried.
You're not mad?
Well, I'm not thrilled, but it's a couple of days.
Oh, you were just so excited it felt like I was letting you down.
The static reaches a new height.
Ralph, I don't think you could ever...
The memory freezes and the static stops. Ralph looks about for a moment, straining. He then slams the laptop shut.
End of scene 6. Scene 7. Some time has passed. Ralph and Holly are sitting in the room. The room is filled with pages from Ralph's book. Holly is reading a few pages while Ralph picks slowly through a meal that Holly has brought him.
Where did you get this quote?
Which?
Dishonesty is the lie we tell other people. Memory is the lie we tell ourselves. Who came up with that?
Well, I suppose I did. Unless I've forgotten where it came from, which I suppose is fitting.
That's beautiful.
I'm glad you like it.
Tell me, what's the secret? How do you become wise like you?
Stick around long enough, and you're bound to say something smart.
Ralph drops his fork, and it clatters to the floor. Holly gets up to help.
Sorry, I don't know what I...
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. I made a mess.
You just dropped the fork. It's not a big...
It's not okay.
Do you have any other sage pieces of advice? Words of wisdom that you picked up?
There are two kinds of optimists. Those that are optimistic about how things are, and those that are optimistic about how things could be. And we're all at least a little optimistic.
And what kind are you?
I guess I'm optimistic about how things could be.
Me too.
Don't you have other people you should be attending to?
I'm actually off today.
What? Then what are you doing here?
I thought you could use the company.
It's your day off. You should be living life.
I also wanted some company.
You don't have friends to spend time with?
You're my friend.
Friends your age.
No, not really. I only just moved here.
What for? Not for this job, I assume.
Not really. I think I just needed a change of surroundings.
How come?
It's just something you feel sometimes, isn't it?
I guess.
Did you get any writing done today?
No.
Really?
It wasn't clear. I just couldn't today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, it's not your job to take care of me.
Yes, it is.
Not right now. You're not getting paid.
I don't mind. I like helping.
Why?
Does it matter?
You know everything about me. You're reading a book on my life, but you're hiding from me. You haven't told me a thing about yourself.
I have.
You have not? It doesn't seem fair.
Why would it not be fair?
I let you read about my life, answered every question about Betty, about my kids, but you won't tell me why you're here.
What do you mean why I'm here?
Why you're taking care of me.
It's the right thing to do.
Is it? Then why are you the only one doing it? If it was the human thing to do, then everyone in this damn home would be fawning over me like you do.
Ralph?
But it's only you. So clearly there is something going on with you. Something has happened to you that makes you, I don't know, pity me. And it feels dishonest for you to keep that from me. If we were really friends, if you weren't just using a sick old man to make yourself feel better, you would tell me. So what is it?
I'll leave you to it then.
Holly exits. Ralph's head drops. The static creeps in slowly.
Into scene 7. Scene 8. Days later, the pages around the room are piled just a little higher. Ralph's head is hanging. Static is filling the room. There is a knock at the door, pulling Ralph's attention. The door opens and young Ralph walks in, stunning Ralph.
Hello? Oh, good, you're up. I wasn't sure if you would be. The front desk said that you'd been sleeping in lately and I didn't want to disturb you, but it seemed wrong to wait in the car. They know me well enough to just walk in now. That's nice of them. How are you?
Ralph is still in a confused, stunned silence.
Are you okay? Hello?
Ralph
Who are
approaches
you?
Ralph, who stands up as quick as he can, startled.
What do you mean?
Get out of my room. Get out.
Is this a joke?
You can't just barge in here. It's my home.
It's me.
I don't know you.
Are you? You're serious. Hold on, just take a seat.
You don't tell me what to do.
Young Ralph exits to the bedroom. Instead of young Ralph returning, Lee returns. The static fades away. He's holding the phone and finishes dialing a number.
Hi, this is Ralph's son in 18. I need help. I don't know. Just send someone, please.
Lee manages to get Ralph into his chair again, but he's still panicking.
Dad, it's me. It's okay. We're going to get you some help.
End scene 8. End act 1.
Act 2, Scene 1. The lights shift to indicate a memory. Betty is on stage, sitting and reading the newspaper. Pen in hand, she is very pregnant. Young Ralph enters, exhausted.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you?
It was a long day.
Young Ralph collapses next to Betty.
Was it?
Yeah, crop should be good this year, but boy, does it kill a guy.
Well, it's not forever.
Sure feels like it.
I imagine.
Young Ralph slaps the bottom of Betty's foot.
How about some chow, woman?
Betty closes her newspaper slowly and stands up.
No.
No?
You are home now, Ralph. It's time for some things to change. It's time for you to get off your ass and start figuring out the rest of your life, our lives. I love you and I want to take care of you, but not if you're going to be a sad sack. It's time to get a job, a full-time job, not this sharecropping nonsense. We're about to start a family. We need to think long term. We can't keep coasting on my army salary.
I'm sorry.
And another thing, you can't spend all your evenings at the pool hall drinking yourself into a stupor. You have to be here for me and soon for your child. It's time to come back to the real world. Good enough isn't good enough anymore. We have to do something more than the bare minimum for this family, and you have to take me to Aberdeen. My water just broke. Get the truck.
Really? Oh my god.
Young Ralph springs to action.
Take it easy. We're gonna get you to the hospital.
Okay.
And everything's gonna be okay. I'm going to change. I'll look for a new job, and from now on, no more drinking. I love you.
I love you too. Now let's go start a family.
Young Ralph and Betty exit.
End of scene 1. Scene 2. Holly and Ralph are in the room again. Ralph looks better, more aware, but not completely. There are more pages piled up around the room. Holly is pulling items out of a bag to show Ralph.
And do you recognize this?
That's my shirt.
Tell me about it.
It's red with green stripes. One of the buttons is loose.
Tell me about what you remember about it.
Lee bought it for me before he left because my clothes hadn't been fitting so well. When I first got it, it was scratchy, but after a few washes, I found I liked it.
Good. And what's this?
That's a picture of my grandkids, Tammy's kids, Aubrey, Sierra, and it was a gift, I know that.
That's okay. And
Do we have to do this?
the new doctor said that exercising your memory is the best way of combating Alzheimer's. It's good for you.
Yeah, so are Brussels sprouts, but I still don't eat those.
You were the one who wanted help with your Alzheimer's.
All I'm asking for is a break.
Fine.
A timer goes off.
Good timing. Time for your meds.
Holly gets up and finds a few prescription bottles, pours a pill from each of them, then proceeds to the sink to get a glass of water. She then brings it to Ralph, who takes the pills and washes them down. There's a beat.
I feel like I owe you an apology.
What for?
I'm not sure exactly. Things are in fragments from before the incident with Lee. But I remember getting angry, and I remember you getting angry, and I remember that it was my fault, so I'm sorry. You've been nothing but kind to me, and you don't deserve that.
You don't have to apologize. You weren't in a healthy state of mind.
Still, I'm sorry.
You are also right.
What was I right about?
You said that I haven't been open with you, and that isn't fair.
That's wrong. You don't owe me any explanation of anything. and-
That's what people do, though, isn't it? They talk about themselves. I have a hard time with that.
You don't have to if you don't want to. I'd just like to know about the people I care about.
How about this? We take turns. You answer a question about an object, I answer a question about myself.
Deal.
You first. What's this?
Holly pulls out a book.
That's my yearbook from 1943, the year I graduated.
Good. Now you can ask me a question.
Why'd you move out here?
I needed a change of scenery.
That isn't a real answer.
It counts.
Holly holds up a mug.
That's my favorite mug. Betty got it for me. What happened to make you leave?
People weren't looking at me the same anymore.
Why?
My turn. What's this?
Holly holds up a menu.
Takeout menu. I always keep one. Why weren't people looking at you the same? You don't have to.
No, it's okay. I made a mistake.
Okay.
Let's switch it up. Who is that?
Holly points to the painting of Betty.
That's my wife and love of my life, Abbie Betty Hummel. She passed away about a year ago.
Good.
How big of a mistake?
A big one. I don't think I want to answer any more questions today,
Okay.
but I have one more for you.
Holly hands Ralph a poem.
What's this?
Where did you find this?
I was mixed into your book pages and I didn't recognize it.
Is this really an exercise or are you just curious about it?
I think I've earned that.
Fair enough. This was a poem written about me
When?
when Betty and I were working in the hotel.
The lights shift to indicate a memory. Betty is sitting in a chair reading a book when young Ralph enters carrying a newspaper. They are years older than before. Holly gets to watch the memory this time.
You aren't going to believe this.
Try me.
I'm in the paper.
What did you do?
Why do you assume it's something bad?
Experience, mostly.
The static enters slowly.
Well, it wasn't bad. In fact, I'm famous now.
You're famous, huh?
Yep, I'm in a book.
What book?
An anthology of poetry.
You write poetry? Why have I never read your poetry?
Oh, no, not in the slightest.
I don't understand.
I have a poem in the American Poetry Anthology.
How could you possibly have it?
Sharply spikes, freezing the scene.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just take a deep breath.
I know this.
I know you do. Take your time.
My adopted son. My soul lay barren, unfulfilled. No child came forth from this flesh. Heart hungry for child unborn to me. In yearning came no rest. Yet from God's eternal ladle,
A need for child, a mother's prayer. He chose for me to cradle. In my arms, he placed you there. Though in my body I never carried, nor my blood flow through your veins, my love for you has near varied. You are my son, and will always remain. Hush, my baby boy, your questions of where you came and wonder still, not for us to know the answer, just to know it was God's will.
That's beautiful.
I think so.
You wrote that?
Well, no, but it's about me.
Is it?
Couldn't you tell?
Does it have your name on it?
Well, no, but it was written by Constance from the motel.
And you know it was about you.
We stayed up talking while I was on working the desk, and I told her about my life.
As you tend to do.
As I tend to do, and I guess she was inspired.
That doesn't make it your poem.
No, but I helped.
Well, congratulations, honey. It's a wonderful poem.
She did a good job.
So what are you going to do now that you're immortal?
What do you mean, immortal?
You have a published poem written about you. You're a piece of history now. You could be remembered for generations. How does that make you feel?
I feel like I should have pushed harder to have my name on it. It's not a bad way to be remembered, though, all things considered.
It certainly isn't. It's a good thing to have.
You think?
Sure. We all want to be remembered after we're gone.
Is that something you think about?
Well, sure. Do you not?
Not really.
Well, what can I say? I've always been a step ahead of you.
And thank God for that. This family would fall apart otherwise. Where are the kids?
They're with the neighbors.
The memory ends. Young Ralph and Betty exit.
I like the poem.
thanks.
Is that why you're writing this book?
What do you mean?
So that Betty is remembered in paper?
That's definitely part of it. It won't matter if I don't get it done, though.
You'll get it done. I'll help you get it done.
Holly gets up to leave.
Now, you write that story while you're able, and I'll be back later to give you your meds.
Holly, I really can't thank you enough.
Nonsense. This is my job. We're going to get that book done.
What makes you so sure?
I guess I'm just optimistic about how things could be. Happy writing.
Holly exits. Ralph grabs the laptop and begins writing. Young Ralph and Betty return, continuing their previous scene.
I have an idea.
What's that?
You and I are always talking about the things from our childhood, the pieces of history that our kids didn't get to see. We're always picking up those antiques, things that make us nostalgic or wistful. Remind us about how things are. We have closets full of them, things we're seeing tucked away where no one else can see them. And we don't need them.
Tread carefully, Ralph Lee Hummel.
But they should see them. They should be on shelves, not in closets. So we open up an antique store
An antique store.
and museum for the things that we can't part with. A place where people can see the part of our lives, of everyone our age's lives, to be remembered. We open it right here in town. We invest the money that we've saved in our very own antique store.
So that people remember what? Us?
Better than that, it makes every one of our generation remembered, with our names attached to it. We'd be remembered of those who helped people remember.
That's a lot of remembering.
It's important.
It hadn't occurred to you until moments ago.
Of course, you were a step ahead of me, you always are. But now that I'm caught up, I know. This is our legacy. What do you say?
I think it's a beautiful idea, Ralph.
End scene 2. Scene 3. Holly enters the room with a tray of food in her hands.
Ralph?
She looks around. Ralph is nowhere to be seen. She sets down the tray of food and takes a seat in his chair, swiveling to look at the painting of Betty.
You're lucky, you know, that you have someone here that loves you like this. That you found someone like him that cares that much. He would say that you did it all yourself, that you made him the man he is. But I think you're smarter than that. He doesn't give you enough credit in that way. I think you found someone who is smart and caring and would love you more than anything and filled in the rest. It's too bad you're not here to see all the work he's doing for you. It's hard on him, but you give him as much direction in death as you did in life. That's real talent, if you ask me. You must have been really special. I wish I could have met you, but you should know that you've helped me too. Helping your husband has been a delight. I hope you like your book.
Holly stands up again, leaving the tray behind. The door opens. Ralph enters, pushed in a wheelchair by Lee.
There you are. Hi, Lee.
Evening.
Did I hear you talking in here?
Well, yeah. I was having a little chat with Betty.
Don't be ashamed. She's good conversation.
I brought you some dinner. I guess your appointment went late.
Just a bit.
Everything okay?
Blood pressure is a bit high, and my memory is getting worse, but nothing new.
Doing anything for the blood pressure?
New meds. That's what took so long. Had to wait for the prescription to fill.
I'll add it to the rotation.
I appreciate it, genuinely.
You said that before.
Well, what can I say? My memory isn't so good.
That's not funny.
It's a little funny. Let an old man laugh about things.
When have I ever been able to stop you from doing anything?
Don't worry, no one can.
What were you two talking about?
Just about you.
Only good things, I hope.
That seems very hopeful.
I have a feeling she'd never have unkind words about you. Good night, Ralph. Lee.
Good night, Holly.
Good night.
Holly leaves. Ralph gets comfortable in his chair.
I take it she's not a fan.
She wasn't exactly around for your best moments.
I guess not.
Give her time. She's working on her own stuff as well.
Like what?
I don't know.
And you're okay with that?
I'm learning to be.
So, how's the book going?
Slow.
You think that...
What?
Do you think that you'll ever get it done?
I hope so. Who knows? It's getting harder.
Dad, I'm sorry.
It's okay, son.
No, it's not.
You didn't do this to me. You didn't give me Alzheimer's.
I didn't get you the help you needed. I should have. I should have immediately gotten you a new doctor.
Should you have?
Yes.
No. You know, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And if my mother had been asking me the same thing when I was your age, I think I would have done the same. I wouldn't have believed her. I wouldn't have gotten her a third doctor.
Does that make it right?
Probably not. But it means I would have done the same thing. And you or your siblings definitely didn't do this to me. We work with what we have in life, and the hand I was dealt was pretty damn great overall.
Can I read it?
Hmm?
The book. Can I read it?
When it's done.
End scene 3. Scene 4. Ralph sits in his chair. Holly is sitting nearby, testing him. She is cycling through pictures.
That's Patty.
Good.
What's your favorite color?
Purple. Next.
Sue.
Good.
Favorite food?
Spaghetti. Next.
Les. Favorite season?
Fall. Your questions aren't as hard hitting today. Why is that?
Since when do you get to ask questions?
Since you love talking about yourself.
It's something new I'm trying.
Which is,
Not knowing some things.
are you going to tell me why, or do I need to keep asking?
I don't know. It's kind of fun on this side of things.
Please.
What's that?
I'm not knowing a lot of things these days. I've got to get used to it instead of clinging to things I can't have.
So you're going to quit cold turkey on being nosy?
That's right.
Huh.
Sorry. Gonna get one more question?
So much for cold turkey.
It's about me. It doesn't count.
Okay, shoot.
Why me?
What?
There are all kinds of folks that you could help, be friends with in here. Why'd you pick me?
Because they didn't believe me either.
I wish you'd been my kid,
Why is that?
because I would have believed you just like you believed me.
End scene 4. Scene 5. Light shift to indicate a memory. Young Ralph and Betty enter, looking defeated.
It was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Just item after item.
Yep.
I
Ooh.
almost started crying when the records went. They didn't even break them up. One person walked away with all of them, not even sure what they all were.
I know.
Are you okay?
Not really.
I'm sorry, hon.
So sure that this was it. This was the thing to do.
It was great while it lasted.
We worked so hard to get all of that. We were about to open the museum.
I know, dear.
All of it. Gone.
It'll be okay.
Aren't you upset?
Of course I'm upset. But it'll pass.
It was our dream.
And it was a beautiful one. But at the end of the day, that's all it was. A dream. And heck, not every dream comes true.
I guess you're right.
Besides, plenty of our other dreams have come true. We fell in love, got married, you survived the war. We bought a house, had 5 wonderful children who had wonderful children of their own. Sure, this piece of the puzzle didn't fall into place. Wasn't meant to be, but honestly, if it had, it wouldn't have been fair. People would have started to get suspicious of our luck, so we didn't get our antique store. It went under and we lost it. I think the score is still in our favor.
You're right. How are you always right?
After the first few times, it just kept happening.
I love you.
Young Ralph kisses Betty. The static starts rising rapidly.
I just thought, that this was it.
Other things to move on to.
Like what?
Well, we're just...
The static spikes sharply, killing the memory. It goes dark. Ralph is visibly impacted. End scene 5. Scene 6. Ralph is sitting in his chair. He is not lucid. Holly knocks at the door, then enters.
Hello?
Hi, Ralph. It's time for your meds.
Meds?
Yes, it's medication time.
Oh, good.
You seem to be in a better mood than you were yesterday.
I saw you yesterday?
Yes, you did. You see me every day.
Oh, of course.
Ralph, do you know who I am?
Of course I do. I couldn't forget you.
How's the writing going?
What writing?
Holly pauses, realizing what's going on. She brings Ralph his pills.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you.
Ralph takes the pills as Holly grabs the bag of items from before.
Let's do our exercises, Ralph.
Exercises?
All you have to do is tell me about these items, okay?
Okay.
Holly holds up an envelope.
What's this?
Paper.
For what?
Writing.
Holly pulls out the shirt.
That's a shirt. My shirt?
Who bought it for you?
I bought it for myself.
Why?
Everyone needs shirts.
Holly pulls out the photo.
Who's this?
A photo.
Of who?
A nice family. A very nice family.
Do you know them?
I wish I did. They seem very friendly.
Holly reaches into the bag. Ralph swivels his chair to see the painting of Betty.
Wow.
What?
She's beautiful. Who is she?
In scene 6. Scene 7. The lights shift, as if it's a memory, but not quite. Ralph sits in his chair, head bowed. Betty enters and sits down, looking much older than before. Ralph wakes up and darts his eyes around, quickly finding Betty.
Morning, sunshine.
What's going on? Is this real?
Who knows?
I was hoping you would.
I'm just happy to be here.
Does this mean, am I,
Soon.
Huh. The book.
What about it?
Did I get it done?
I don't know.
I'm so sorry, Betty. I tried.
Whatever are you sorry for?
I wanted to leave a record of us.
Honey, I don't need you to write a book for me.
Why?
I appreciate it. It's so sweet. I wish I could read it. But we've both left our mark, book or no.
You're sure?
I'm sure the book is amazing and I love you for it. But there are other ways to be remembered. We had 5 kids who had kids. And their kids have kids. Like it or not, they're going to tell people about us. Our great-great-grandkids will know about us. And on until no one remembers stories of us. But we'll be part of them. Forever. That's how we'll live on. That's how we'll be remembered.
Yeah, you could have saved me a lot of trouble if you'd given me that speech before you passed. God, I've missed you.
I missed you too.
Was our story a good one?
I think our story was a great one.
Now what?
What do you mean?
What comes next?
Betty smiles and stands up. She walks over to the record player and puts on a record. She walks back and extends a hand to Ralph. He takes it, standing up with an ease he hadn't experienced previously. They begin to dance.
We just dance? I love you more than anything.
I love you too.
They continue dancing as Lee enters, dressed for a funeral.
Sometimes a baby is born who is lucky enough to be born out of love. That love nurtures and provides not just clothing and food, but love, ethics, the taking of responsibility for your actions, and a charitable heart. This is a foundation that lasts their whole life. The parents provide all of these things from the moment the child is conceived until death. It doesn't stop when they are 18. It doesn't stop when they wreck the car. It doesn't stop when they marry too young or have children of their own. Our parents, Ralph and Betty, were that type of parent to the five of us. We all knew that we would be loved no matter what, and that our parents would provide for us in so many ways, including every way we had a real need. We all understand the sacrifices our parents made for us and how much we are. All we can hope for is that someday our children feel the same way about us. It gives us great joy to see our dad's memoirs actually be completed before his passing. This will be passed on to Mom and Dad's 10 grandchildren, 16 plus great-grandchildren, and hopefully for many more generations to come. He had a gift for making a wonderful difference in the lives he touched. You both were our heroes. You've taught us what a loving relationship is. We all love you so much. We'll be forever grateful for you and your memoirs. Our sincere love and thanks. When someone my father admired, he would always bring, and I would like to read it for you now. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am in 1,000 winds that blow. I am the softly fallen snow. I am the gentle showers of rain. I am the fields of ripening grain. I am the morning hush. I am in the graceful rush of beautiful birds in circling flight. I am the starshine of the night. I am in the flowers that bloom. I am in a quiet room. I am the birds that sing. I am in each lovely thing. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I do not die.
Ralph and Betty finish dancing, then exit. Holly enters and slowly approaches Lee.
Hi.
Hi, Holly. Thanks for coming.
I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Yeah. Did they say what?
Stroke.
Oh,
Apparently, it's pretty common. The blood pressure and the Alzheimer's, it was an inevitable thing.
yeah.
They say he didn't suffer, though. Not long, anyway.
That's good. Well, I'll just...
No. Hold on for just a minute, would you?
Okay.
I wanted to ask you about him.
He was your dad.
How was he toward the end?
He was depressed when he was lucid and determined to get that book done. But when he wasn't, he'd forgotten that she was... Yeah, and he was happy. Really, really happy.
Jesus, that's sad.
Is it? I haven't decided yet. I keep thinking about it.
Well, it sure isn't happy.
No, I guess not. It wasn't your fault. I know you want to blame yourself for everything, but you can't. He wouldn't want that. You couldn't know that he was sick, and anyone would have done the same thing. You can't blame yourself.
Thank you for that. And thank you for everything. He was very fond of you, you know.
So he told me.
Oh, hang on.
Lee finds his bag and pulls a wrapped present and a letter out of it.
He wanted you to have this.
Lee hands the present to Holly.
Oh, thank you.
I should go talk to the rest of the family, but thank you. Thank you for everything.
You don't have to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Lee exits. Holly takes a moment composing herself, then looks to the package. She opens the letter. Ralph enters. Lights shift to indicate a memory one more time.
Dear Holly, if you're reading this, then it means I think I've earned the right to ignore the rules of our game, and even if I haven't, I sure am going to. First off, this is my last chance to thank you. I wouldn't have gotten this book done without you. I owe you more than I can ever repay. When I was at my lowest, you were there for me, and I needed that. I'm sorry that there wasn't someone who was there for you when you were at your lowest, and I'm sorry that I won't be there for you when you feel that way again. Betty, I know, even in my last letter to you, I can't help but talking about her, had 8 siblings. 3 of her brothers made big mistakes in their worst moments. Betty and I weren't there to help them, and we always regretted that and miss them to this day. But though I couldn't remind them, I can remind you there's beauty in this world. Even when I struggle to remember your name, I remember that. I hope you find it. I've left you a bit of a gift, though it feels fairly vain in writing this down. In my will, as you will likely see, I was clear that this was only going to family, which means, like it or not, you're part of mine now. If I could have raised you as my own, I would have, and I know Betty would have too. So take this book. Maybe it'll be some comfort to you, or maybe it's just an old man forcing his work upon you. Either way, it's yours. Now, go out and make your mark on the world, just like you've made your mark on me. Love, Ralph.
Holly unwraps the package, revealing a copy of Ralph's book. She hugs it to her chest.
Blackout, end of play.